Hello, I'm Jessie, the Sleepy Koala, and welcome to another Bookmas video. Today, I will be going through the books that surprised me this year, both the ones that I thought would be good, that I had issues with, and also the ones that maybe I didn't think much about that really I found very good. The first book that I was not expecting to like as much as I did is The Girl in Times Square by Paullina. This book follows Lily Quinn, a girl who recently won the lottery, then was diagnosed with terminal cancer, and whose roommate has gone missing. It looks at her journey while she has cancer and her how she gets into recovery, what ends up happening with the lottery money, which she refuses to cash for a while because she thinks it's bad luck, and also what happened to her best friend and roommate. Where did she go? I was not expecting to like this book as much. I didn't think I'd dislike it. It's just, I am primarily a fantasy reader. I don't read contemporary fiction very often, so this isn't one that I would normally choose to pick up. The thing is, this is my mom's book. I took it with me when I left for university a decade ago, and I only actually got around to reading it now. So thanks, Mom, for the great book. It was very good. I did really enjoy it. I found it really hard to read a lot of the stuff about Lily's cancer because that must have been so difficult to go through, and I don't want to imagine how much worse it would actually be to go through versus just reading about it. But it was some of the most interesting parts of the book. Also, when Lily looks into her own family history, that's also a very intriguing and compelling part of the book. The mystery with the friend gets a bit weird in the end. It was fine, but it got a bit weird. But overall, I really like this book. I was not expecting to like this book as much, and honestly, I picked it up because I wanted to try a fiction book. I wanted to try something that wasn't fantasy. And this really did well at making me realize that maybe I wouldn't like this all the time, but I still enjoyed it, and I can still like books like this. Even if I don't read them frequently, I do have an alternative here to fantasy books. Next, a book that I thought I'd love, but I hated. Five Dark Fates by Kendare. This is the fourth and final book in the Three Dark Crowns series, and it was a massive disappointment, which, when it's the last book, really overshadows the entire series and is very unfortunate. We spend half the book doing absolutely nothing, and when we get to the point where something should be happening, things aren't happening. The battle at the end is very cool, but we spend so much time doing pointless build-up that it really detracts from the battle completely. There are things that are left unanswered, there are plot threads that are just dropped, and there are just loose ends everywhere. This book had the potential to be great. It had the underlying structure to be amazing and to surpass the last two books in how good they were. And it didn't. The execution of this book just did not live up to the promise of what it could have been. The next book that I liked more than I was expecting is The Guinevere Deception by Kiersten. This is the first book in the Camelot Rising series and follows Guinevere, who is actually a changeling in the place of the real Guinevere, who goes to marry King Arthur so that she can help keep him safe. Of course, like every King Arthur tale, the magic in the kingdom is forbidden for reasons because they are scared of magic. So she has to be very careful with what she's doing to protect the king. This book was really easy to read, and it was really light as well. I really wanted something light at the point that I read this because I had just finished another book that not only was more in depth, but also was really disappointing. So I just wanted something light and fluffy to, cleanse the palate. And this worked really, really well. The characterization in this was also really good. Both Guinevere and also Mordred had fantastic characterization. Lancelot was also another standout character, and I think all three of them really raised the book up for me and a part of why it was better than I was expecting it to be. I didn't think it'd be bad, I just wasn't expecting to like it as much. It's the first book in a series, and I can't say I was super interested in reading a series, and I thought, I'll just read the first book. It's a King Arthur retelling. How much is there that's gonna make me want to read the next book? Well, it turns out that there's stuff there, and I do want to read the next book eventually. The next book that I was disappointed by, that I thought I would like more, Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo. I really love Six of Crows, like really love Six of Crows. I started a booktube channel because of Six of Crows, and I did like Crooked Kingdom. It just didn't live up to the first book. There were quite a few more issues with it. I found the plot was very chaotic, and Bardugo tried to do the thing again where characters know things that the audience doesn't, except this time it made no sense as to why the characters never revealed these things, and that really bothered me quite a bit. The actual characterization, fantastic. A+ job, all the way up there. Bardugo is fantastic at characterization, and I did like the plot in this. I thought that the plot was very interesting. I also thought that the ending of this for some of the characters was also really well done. I didn't care about some of the stuff that happened at the end that I can't talk about, but it didn't hit me. I didn't care very much about it. So I had higher expectations for this book. I really thought it would be up there with Six of Crows in what I loved about it. I have 2 reviews of this book because I talked for so long I had to split it between plot analysis and character analysis. Please go take a look and let me know your thoughts, because Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom are both books that I really would love to discuss with people, because I really fell for them and I fell for the world, and they gave me book hangovers. They really did. So they're definitely the type of thing that I would love to talk about more with people. So feel free to leave a comment here. Feel free to check out those videos and leave comments there. I will definitely respond to them. The last book that really exceeded expectations, and I wasn't expecting it to, is Overraging Tides by Jennifer Ellision. This is a book about pirates. This is a book about lady pirates on a women-run pirate ship who have all of these rules that people have to abide by, and they basically come down to don't cause a mutiny and don't bring boys onto the ship. I just wanted a pirate novel. I needed something fun, and I specifically wanted pirates, and this one had a gorgeous cover, so I chose this, and I loved it so much. This is actually one of the best books that I read this year. It was so much fun. There was an intriguing plot with the main character, and the book has these epigraphs that give us all the rules to the pirate ship, and I love a good epigraph. And we immediately find out that the ship doesn't allow men. And of course, this is immediately broken because they have to take on 2 male survivors of a shipwreck. And then they can't kill them because they need them for some translation to get a magical object and or map, and then they go on this adventure to find it before the other pirates do. It was great. I really want to reread it again and then read the other books in the series as well. It was so much fun, and I was not expecting it. I just wanted a light pirate book, and this far exceeded my expectation. The last book that I will talk about is one that I was really enjoying, and then I wasn't. It just plummeted. It crashed down into something I was so disappointed by and was really surprised by it because I was really liking this book. That book is Law by Alexandra Bracken. I came across this book with this awesome cover, and I read the synopsis and went, that sounds awesome. So I started reading it, and I loved it. I loved the book so much. I loved Laura as a character. I loved the immediate hook of she goes home one day and finds Athena dying on her doorstep. I was in. You don't have to ask me twice. I was into this and I was following along so closely. I really, really was enjoying myself. And then something happened and I hated it. This thing happened and it destroyed the book for me. I read to the end, but it couldn't be rectified. This couldn't be fixed. It also kind of continued through to the end of the book. And nope, that was it for me. That was it. That destroyed that book for me so hard, and it was irredeemable. I could not recover it from that. I could not recover the enjoyment because it completely changed something. And that was one of the things that I had loved earlier in the book, and it changed. And it changed in the worst way as well. So I had high expectations with Lore when I was reading the beginning of it. I think this is the first time I've ever had a book that has changed my opinion so rapidly and drastically because of one thing in it. There's definitely books that I've been disappointed with in like the ending and things have happened. I'm like, well, that was disappointing, but I don't dislike the whole book because of it. This book, I can't say I like the book at all. Would I reread it? Maybe, but it would definitely be like on the edge of like a hate read type thing, because I would know that it's coming and I would know that I'd have the exact same furious reaction. So I don't know if I could ever say I like this book ever, because it really got to me. I will end this video on me disliking Lore so much that it destroyed the book for me. And I will leave you until tomorrow when we will have another Bookmas video. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, write me a comment, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye!